you've had in your career. I never thought that would even be something.
Fear-based music. Well, I'm not sure if that is the exact right way to put it, but I'm a jazz fan first. And I love so many. I love the whole history of jazz. I continue to study and learn and be a fan. I'm just obsessive. I mean, I really am. And way before I started playing any, I guess, what I mean when I say in the kind of jazz/rock mixture idioms, there are so many of them now, and mixing also world music in. It's less. It's just doesn't have as big a history, And because I'm such a jazz fan, and I'm still trying to figure out what Bud Powell played, and certainly Coltrane and all those guys, when we play this stuff, I can bring my stuff to it, and I don't feel like I'm playing the exact same tune that Miles played this great solo on.
That is something that you when I think about you, even when you played with Miles, the music was pretty free and pretty devoid of bebop in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's funny. It was, but getting to know Miles, he was. That's what he knew, and that's the music he made was from bebop and from Charlie Parker and everything. It was really completely informed by that. He just brought in, he was the guy who was like this jazz musician who just said, I can do that over these grooves, or let's just make it one chord instead of all these harmonies, and see what happens. Another Ornette Coleman was trying to come up with a solution to the same problem. Harmonically, so it was jazz rock that he did, but it wouldn't have been there if it hadn't been for Miles's background. It's funny when you really listen to it.
When you start to take a solo when you're playing music like this, is the mental approach different, or does the music just take you to a place, or is it the same?
Yeah, the music takes me to a place. I don't have to really adjust, because this is a very familiar place with the band tonight, this kind of jazz that we've played, this groove and all that, and I don't really have to. No, I just play. But I've worked on this music for many, many years.
Right. As a touring musician too, I loved your honesty when you spoke about sometimes the marketplace pushes you in different musical directions, and you're glad that you were pushed in those directions.
I'm always, I think that fate brings us to certain places in life, just completely outside of music. That the ride, that takes you places that you would never have gone on your own. You learn new things, and you benefit from it, and that's just true with everything. And it's true that in the jazz business right now, people want you to do a lot of things. It's hard to keep one group together and do that all the time. So I've been for really, because the agents want different projects every summer or something.
Because you make your bread and butter's on the road.
Yeah. All of us, all jazz musicians, unless you have to teach for a living, you make your money playing gigs, not collecting royalties out of your mailbox, unfortunately. But because a lot of the festivals, what's he bringing this time? I've worked on all these different projects that I probably wouldn't have on my own, but now I'm really glad because it made me stretch out.
Well, it's a beautiful marriage there, because there's been so many different things that you've been able to do. I've been poking around on your Facebook site. You got to go to it, folks, by the way, because there's some really delightful images of you as a young person.
I can't help it, but these pictures have shown up in the last couple of years. I can't help but put them up there because here I'm this elderly man, and these pictures of me, back in 1966 are hilarious.
You got this blonde telly. It's riding up a little bit high. You're playing with the kind of band somewhere, looking looking amazing. I was just wondering, when you look back at those, when you were posting them, what kind of thoughts and kind of memories come through your mind?
I can't believe I'm that same person, because that person was a little boy. I have that same guitar still, but I had to buy it back from somebody in Texas 10 years ago who came to me and said, I have your guitar. And it was this guy from Connecticut, where I'm from, who I didn't know, but who had gotten it. And then he sold it back to me for a lot of money because it's a vintage Telecaster.
Did he try to give you the gears on it, or was he kind about it, or did he?
He wasn't kind.
Wow, what a guy!
He
man.
needed money, and I just and he wore me down. I just really wanted it so bad because my childhood friend had come back to me. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead. We're talking about tonight and the Uber Jam Band, but I did find out that coming up in September, more new music. You're getting back together with Medeski Martin Wood for your 4th recording. It's called Juice, and that's already in the can and ready to go. Your feelings on the new record?
Well, I'm glad that we did it. I love playing with those guys. We just played some gigs. It's so much fun and it's so spontaneous, and I love the way everybody plays. We put together some nice stuff. Each brought in some original tunes, but also we did some covers, and it's all kind of, for lack of a better word, our version of kind of Afro-Cubanish music. It's a little different. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. John, everyone's excited to have you back in town. Tonight, 8 o'clock is when things get started. It's the Uber Jam 2 Band, and also Prism and Dave Holland on the same bill. Great night. Welcome back to our city. Have a great gig tonight.
Thanks so much.
John Scofield, and here's some more music from the new one here on Jazz FM 91.